Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country. And after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. We have Jenn from the Runcation Nation, better known as Jenn, running through Wonderland on Instagram, joining us from New York, and she is going to share a RunDisney memory for us this weekend so we can feel a little bit like we're bringing Disney home. Jenn, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We're so excited to connect with a fellow runner who is so in love with running Disney, and
yeah, just a bit.
We're so excited to hear your memory.
Oh, I'm excited to share it because I feel like sharing these makes it a little bit easier to get through these times because it's a rough time for everybody, but Disney brings the magic no matter what.
Absolutely.
I do have some really funny memories from just my past RunDisney stuff. So, and it all has to do with boardwalk, surprisingly.
Oh, really? This will be fun.
So I love running. I've done Princess, I think, 5 times. So it's always like the best weekend for me to and we make it like a whole vacation. So the first year I started, I only did the 5K, and it was quite literally the frozen 5K. It was, I think, a cold snap, and it was 30 degrees. It was terrible.
Ooh.
And I was like, why am I doing this? This is horrible. Why would I put myself through this? And I crossed the finish line, and I was like, nope, that's why I'm doing it.
Aww.
So the following year, I talked my friend into it. She lives in California. And I said, you have to do this with me, so do the 10K with me. She's like, okay, because we want to do the 10K because back then that's when the 5 medals were plastic or rubber.
Oh, yeah.
It does bounce. I've tried. I was curious. I'm a science teacher. I just wanted to see if it would actually bounce. So she had done the 10K with me that year, and we dressed up as, and it's probably one of my favorite memories, we dressed up as Spider-Man and the Hulk, but we put ourselves in tutus because it was Princess, and we were like, they could be princesses, whatever.
Yeah.
And we ran the 10K in these giant fluffy tutus with just the tops on. They were like muscle shirt tops, and we're running through, and as we're coming up towards the 10K, we're coming up towards the boardwalk. There's a part where it kind of loops around and you see the people coming back towards the back half of the course. So they kind of like a little meetup.
Yeah.
And as we're running, I look up and my friend goes, oh my gosh, look. And I turn and I see someone dressed up in a full-blown Loki costume.
Oh my God.
And I was like, this is amazing. This is awesome. So we start yelling at each other from across the race course because we're in character at this point. And we wind up finishing the entire course, and the lady waited for us so we could take a picture together. So it was Spider-Man, Loki, and the Hulk, and she waited. And I was like, oh my gosh, so we have that picture of our first race together from that 10K, and it was awesome. One of my favorite memories.
Oh my gosh. It makes me think of the Avengers races out in California.
I know. And
yeah. When we ran it once, and as we were running through as we were exiting, I think, California Adventure, or we were exiting one of the parks, we were at the front and we saw Guardians of the Galaxy characters.
That's so cool.
Well, there was the Yondu who was
Mary Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah.
And it was like a mashup of Yondu and Mary Poppins. It was a great costume.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was, we miss those races so much.
So one of my favorite memories from running Disney was actually the first time that I ran with my mom and my dad. It was Princess 2019, and I had talked them into doing a 5K, and my dad and I are pretty big jokesters, so we like poking fun at each other about who was going to win the race. And so the whole year we were just kind of jabbing at each other, and my friends actually also ran with us. So we had a group of about 10 people running, and we did the Disney classics, and my dad, who oddly enough looks very similar to Walt Disney, we gave him the costume of Walt Disney. So we ran as Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy, Chip and Dale and Goofy. And we all ran together. So my dad stuck with us the most time. My mom and my aunt, they're way too competitive for their own good. So they kind of just walked. And the rest of the time we kind of hung out. We took pictures. I was surprised my parents were even up that early because it was a 5 a.m. wake up call. And we were just taking pictures and we were laughing. And just like the whole vibe of that 5K was awesome because it was the first time a couple of my friends had ran the 5K or even just did RunDisney. My parents were there. I was having a blast. So we get to the end. It's kind of like a multi-ended story because it was really funny. So we're sitting at mile 3 and we were taking the picture with the mile marker. And I said to my friends, we're going to just sprint to the end and not tell my dad. So my friends are like, okay, because we're all in on this. So I say to them, when I say, Chewy, put it into hyperdrive, just take off. And they're like, okay, cool. My friend Sarah did not hear this message, and she started running out of nowhere. So she's already ahead of us. I don't even notice that she's gone because by the time I say the words, I start sprinting, and my friend Matt, who's super competitive like me, he starts sprinting, and we're trying to beat the other one to the finish line. My dad, who got left behind, had no idea what was going on, and he went to the finish line, and somebody stopped right in front of him and proposed to his girlfriend right in front of my dad at the finish line. Oh, gosh. It was like chaos. At the end of the race, I didn't get a finisher photo. My friend, who was Donald Duck, it was probably the greatest finisher photo I'll ever see in my life, had seen my friend Matt, who was racing with me, who was dressed up as Mickey Mouse, come flying out of nowhere. The picture turned out to be like as Matt just passes her for the finish line, her arm is extended in a fist, just like Donald Duck, and she had this look of pure rage on her face that Matt was like she just channeled her inner Donald Duck. And it was like the perfect ending picture, the perfect finish line picture. But now, Matt and myself, we did not get finisher line photos because
oh no,
we were a little too fast for the cameras.
Did you all reunite and get a picture together afterwards?
Yeah, we did. We were right in like the finisher shoot, and we got our medals, and we were all taking pictures with it. But it was my dad was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "You wanted to race."
That's so funny.
But it was such a best, like a great time. Just having my family there and my friends there really made the race because it was a blast, and they got to see what I saw, which was just this love for Disney and running, and they wound up doing the 5K with us this past February.
This memory is so great because it brings together family, friends, and a love for RunDisney. So, Jenn, we can't thank you enough for sharing your RunDisney memory with the Runcation Nation.
Of course. Everybody needs a little Disney.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We're having a great third year because of your support. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Run, Eat, Drink Podcast. And on Twitter, we're at Run, Eat, Drink Pod. You can also give us a call at 941-677-2733 or shoot us an email at info@runeatdrink.net. Visit our website at runeatdrink.net and click on the subscribe link so you don't miss a minute. Accomplish, explore, and indulge right along with us. We'll talk to you next time.